Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. I want to talk today about Chrysler's bankruptcy that they went through in 2009. And the reason why I want to talk about something that happened in the past as I'm checking out these amazing cars, you guys know I like cars, is that most people don't understand the history of the automobile industry in the aspect of how many times companies have actually failed and actually came back through bankruptcy, through restructuring, and sometimes government bailouts, and yet they're still here today. So many people would assume that if you are bad at business, you lose money, and you go bankrupt, that's it. You should close your doors, you're done. Let another car company take your place. But oftentimes, the government in the past has stepped in to bail out a company, a car company, because of the threat of how many people could lose their jobs and how much the economy could be affected. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this, the 2009 Chrysler bankruptcy, is because I believe you're about to see more government bailouts in the forms of auto manufacturers that misappropriated funds, made poor decisions, and didn't have a nest egg in go under. And you're going to see more and more government bailouts, all right? So let's just check this out. In 2009, actually April 30th of 2009, Chrysler filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, protection from its creditors. As such, Chrysler will be able to operate as a going concern. While the company renegotiates its debt structure and other obligations, the US government has described Chrysler's actions as a prepackaged surgical bankruptcy, quote unquote, through which it hopes the company will be able to exit the bankruptcy process within 30 to 60 days. If Chrysler achieves this, now guys, this story was in 2009, right? In the middle of the Great Recession. It says if Chrysler achieves this, it will emerge with a new global partnership with the Italy-based Fiat. I don't think that partnership's there anymore. Instead of cash, Fiat will provide the equivalent of billions of dollars in research and investment-related R&D investments for a 35% stake in the new Chrysler. However, many experts think a quick trip into and out of bankruptcy might be unrealistic. Now, guys, we all know how the story ends. Chrysler filed for bankruptcy along with other car companies that needed bailouts in different forms. I remember GM made some pretty poor cars. Put them down in the comment section below if you remember what I'm talking about. Small little cars that they ended up selling to the government because no one in their right mind would ever buy those vehicles. PT Cruiser comes to mind. That's just one of my thoughts. I'm not a big PT Cruiser fan. I know there's a lot of people out there that love them. My cousins owned them. They loved them. But the government agreed to buy cars from companies that were failing because they mismanaged funds. They didn't see the next cycle. And ultimately, it was the taxpayer that ended up bailing them out because of the threat of how many jobs would be lost and the economic impact or the fallout that would occur. Now, we are in a time in history right now where we are about to see something on the level of the Great Depression. Most people don't see it. Most people don't understand cycles, economic cycles. But you've been watching this channel for a while and you understand how the car industry is absolutely cratering right now for so many reasons. As a matter of fact, so many more reasons that is taking down the auto industry right now, more than what happened in 2008, 2009. Back then, it was simply a real estate correction, which destroyed the wealth effect of the nation. We didn't have inflation raging in 2008, 2009. Like we do today. We have inflation. We have the loss of the petrodollar, which is happening right before our eyes, in front of us. We are losing world dominance when it comes to trade. There is a trade imbalance happening right now. And we have car companies that are literally dependent, unlike these. None of these cars run on a microchip. None of these cars you would have seen a halting of sales because of a tiny, tiny little part that's made in another country, mind you, stop the production of these cars. It was a whole different era. We are more vulnerable in the auto industry today than ever before to attack, financial attack, one of which being that many parts of these vehicles are not made in America. So we are literally at the mercy of another country and the parts that they make. Now, will that change? Yes, it will, but it'll take a lot of heartache to get there. You see, you have to go through a depression to have a revival. That's how it always is, both financially and in different industries. And the auto industry is no different. You see, as it becomes harder to get chips, we will start to make more chips here in this country. As it gets harder to source the tires that are, a lot of them are coming from China, Chinese rubber. I guess they're too busy building weather balloons now, but you got to think about all the parts that come from other countries. And if we have a hard time sourcing them, these car companies are going to be forced to manufacture them here. Now, what happens in the first portion of starting to manufacture things in America, which I want to see that. Bring manufacturing back to this country. We've lost so much of our manufacturing base. The painful point is how much more it costs to manufacture here as opposed to other countries because of wages, insurance, and all kinds of things, other things. And so that initial reaction is going to be painful. And this car industry is going to go through some massive, massive changes. To think that Chrysler is going to have problems on the same scale, if not worse than 2008, is an understatement. So how do you benefit from that? Now, you guys know, I can't stop looking at cars. I want to buy a car every week. Excuse me. I keep looking at Porsches and all these different vehicles. I can't wait to buy them. But I am waiting, because why would I spend my dollars now to buy 1 or 2 cars? I could spend those same dollars down the road and buy 20 cars, have my own collection like this. That's what I want. That's what I've always wanted. I love when you guys put what cars you like. Look at the back end of this car. Check this out. It's the craziest looking car. Dymaxion. It's literally like a reverse Volkswagen Bug. Actually, no, you know what? This looks like an old aircraft. Look at the front of this. Doesn't that look like the front of an airplane? So crazy, so cool. This thing's got the tail of a mermaid. Kid you not, look at this. Who makes a rear end on a car look like that? Literally looks like a fish, the goldfish. It's like something Austin Powers would drive, the Goldfinger. It's called the Aeromobile. The auto industry in its early days were going through changes so crazy, and we've lost that creative edge in this country. There are other countries that are literally just crushing us in automobile innovation, and we need to wake up. I gotta be honest with you, one of the most exciting things I've seen in a long time is the Chevy Z06, the new one, the C8, starting to take other car companies down. Their times against Ferrari, Lamborghini, and other car companies are impressive. I love to see that. I want to see us on top. I want to see America great again. The problem is America's not going to get great, and the automobile industry is not going to get great again until we go through some hard times. And I want you guys ready for that. Guys, I hope you got something out of this video. I thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.